Hello and welcome to the final NOLO time of 2021. My name is Obed Velez, and with me is the fourth Spider-Man, Mr. Joel Young.
I was in the movie. I just have that Miles Morales ability where I can, just blend in the
Yeah,
background.
stealth,
John
stealth.
Cena
Yeah,
effect,
can't see Joe. Joel, I saw you survived. I survived as well. How's it going,
Yeah.
man? We'll cut our pleasantries short today
Yeah.
because I know what you guys want to hear. So, but what's up, man? You doing all right?
I'm doing great. This is a great time to be back with you. Like you said, we're gonna get into Spider-Man big guys, so there's gonna be a lot of spoilers. This is gonna be a spoiler-filled episode. So if you haven't seen the movie, come back and jump back into this podcast after you do. Although Obed, this is a movie that has broken records, 260 mil in its opening weekend.
Yep.
So I think most people have seen the movie. It's safe to say. If you're listening to the show, more than likely you've seen the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's the target demographic, I guess, right?
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Doing all right over here too. Very much looking forward to Christmas break. So, yeah, man. I'm hoping to come back re-energized. In 2022, we're still planning out. We may skip. I know that, like I said, this is gonna be our last one for this year.
Yeah.
We may or may not come back. First week in January, we'll figure it out.
The way
Right.
you started that sentence, we may or may not come back. Like, I was like, is the
First week
blip
in
gonna
January.
happen?
No,
Like,
I mean I meant the first week in January because we usually
I
take
know,
that
I
2 week
know.
break and Christmas
Yes.
to just reorg,
Yeah.
right? And that's probably what we'll do because we got a ton of stuff. So
You got some new tech coming in.
yeah, we got new tech coming in. We got gotta adjust it. I'm trying to move things around, so we'll see. I am very salty today, but Joe, I really want to talk about Spider-Man, and I mean, like I said, we're gonna, we set our highs, and all right. So here's what was totally unexpected to me, right? 2020 was an awful year for a lot of people. Um, it was very challenging for me, but it was what it was. It's in the past, whatever. Um, 2021. I mean, up until like a few days ago, it was going fine. But
Uh,
um, I was not expecting that my number one and number two favorite comic book movies would come out this year. Um, Unfortunately, for my number one movie, which was the Snyder Cut, it got kicked out real good out of no that number one spot, Joel. It got it got bumped out with no regrets. It was like, yeah, this is like there's no going around it. Because Spider-Man No Way Home is my favorite comic book movie ever.
yeah.
Um, absolutely fantastic from beginning to end. I think this is, other than possibly the first Maguire movie, the one that really explores Spider-Man in depth. It was absolutely fantastic. We all know the spoilers. We'll talk about that in a few, but I just want to talk about the movie from a storytelling standpoint first. I think that out of all the MCU movies that we've had to date, um, maybe taking out Captain America, right? This has been the best like character development we've seen. It, oh, bro, it's like unexpected. It's unexpectedly heavy, but at the same time hopeful.
Yeah.
It was so good, and it was so well done. It's incredible that they were able to manage so many characters in this movie so well. Something that Spider-Man 3 with like not even half the characters was not able to do. And Amazing 2, the same thing, right? It's incredible because the two Spider-Man, they're not cameos. They're supporting roles, like I predicted. It was so, um oh man. I mean, I have no negatives, honestly, dude. Um I think the pacing was excellent. Um I mean, not hands down, like not even a contest, is the best of the Holland movies.
Oh, yeah.
Um it's man, it's like everything a nerd could dream of, right? Um I I was watching this movie and I came out of the theater, I was feeling very very good. And I went back to middle school and beginning of high school, back when, again, and I've talked about it on the podcast before, when you're the nerd in school, hey, you're like
Yeah.
Spider-Man and all this stuff, and you get made fun of back then, right? Because you like Spider-Man. Now everyone likes Spider-Man. Kids today don't have
Yeah.
to deal with that. I think they do have it much worse. Well, they're actually like literally fighting ghosts out on the internet. But before, like, you get made fun face to face, and you know, and it was constant and relentless, and it was all the time. So I think that this movie, I mean, we've all known, right, ever since Avengers came out, that we already won. But this movie cemented the fact
Yeah.
that nerds not even are making the money. They are the ones that are making you spend money. So I am I'm blown away. I have nothing negative to say about it. Um, Everyone in the movie was excellent. Um, I mean, it may have flaws. I want to see it again, of course, right? I will buy it for sure when it comes out. Um, but I mean, from right now, from where I'm looking at the movie, I see no negatives. So take it away, man.
Whew. Um, I'll start off with the same thing as you saw about story first before we get into the extra sweaty stuff. Um, what they did in this movie, I did not think could be possible before. And I know that doesn't make sense to most people when you say it the way I say it, but let me put it to you this way. When you have a movie that says you're going to take 20 years worth more of this cinematic history,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to bring in a larger cinematic universe that is extremely beloved, right? The MCU. And on top of that, you are going to give a very personal story at the same time for a singular character, but also our supporting characters also have a deeply personal story in within the story. Okay.
Everyone grows.
I'm telling you, like, it was such an emotional roller coaster, and we'll get into it in a bit. I was laughing, I cheered, I cried. Yes, I cried. Not something I do often in theaters, not something I do often in life. It's when something deeply touches me to that extent. Um, Spider-Man's the guy that I've talked about a long time. That was my guy that got me into the books. Okay. My father was a comic book, casual as a kid. He lived in New York. He worked with a guy that used to, I guess, collect comics every single week as they came out. He'd go to the store and he'd pick them up, and my dad would collect some too. And he passed that down to me at a very young age. And I remember seeing the very first Sam Raimi Spider-Man as a kid, and just being in love. Like the people with me were like freaked out by the goblin. It was scary. I was just like, just enthralled, right? Going back into these books, uh, going then to the library, picking up more of these, whatever I can get my hands on Spider-Man, doing it. And it's because of that deep, deep sense of love that I've become more critical of Spider-Man as I've gone older, right? Where I maybe if I was a certain way when I watched the Tobey Maguire films, I might have had the response that I hear other people have, but I it's like it's almost like how similar. I can compare it somewhat to Star Wars, right? Like watching it as a kid versus watching it as an adult. The kid in me, I go back to the kid in me when I watch those things, right? When I watch these Spider-Man, it's the same way. And somehow, some way, I was able to have that experience again with this movie where it took me back to the little boy Joel, like little kid Joel was sitting in the theater there and was having the time of his life and couldn't care what anyone else was thinking of this movie. I didn't care if the critics said they loved it, if they said they hated it. It didn't matter. The movie was just so enthralling that it just made me love it. Now, what made it even cooler? I don't know. I'm assuming the same thing happened at your theater, Obed. I mean, people were screaming, bro.
Yeah,
People were cheering.
there were
And
some
then when
cheers. It was
the
more
moments are
subdued.
supposed to be deep,
The,
I heard people crying around me.
yeah, yeah. It was
It's
more
like
subdued from
it
what
gets
I've seen.
yeah, it
But
gives
yeah,
everybody my point because it gets everybody in almost a similar way, which is not something that's usually everyone has a unique experience. But I mean, I've talked to people who bet have barely any Spider-Man, past knowledge, seen a couple of the movies, and they're loving this thing. And somehow the people like us, Obed, who have grown to watch most of these, films, all of them really, loving it too. And that's a rare feat.
yeah, yeah. Like you said, this is something. This is the first Avengers kind of level.
Yes,
Um,
it's an event.
yeah, because the first Avengers was special for me.
Same.
Watching it in the movie theater, it was. I mean, that was it, right?
Yeah,
That is the thing that I always wanted was an Avengers movie.
like an Avengers curtain or something as a kid
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think my mom still has it. Um,
nice.
and and that's all I when I was a kid, that's what I want. I wanted to see Hulk and Thor and Cap and Iron Man and just out there doing their thing, right? And we got it, and that to me was very special, right? But this one was special in a different way, right? Because it's something that when the first Spidey came out, I had just started dating my wife back then. So that was like a date movie. It was probably maybe the second or third movie that we saw in the movie theater. Maybe the third one that we saw. So it was special. So getting everything circling back 20 years later is like, holy crap, dude. This is special, dude. It's this movie's special, guys. It's like, we're not even we're cashing the checks over here, whatever, right? I don't care, right? It was definitely an event. Um, I I'm sure the movie has flaws and whatnot. It's
Sure.
I'm because
And I can
nothing,
mention a couple things that
yeah,
are like
yeah, because no
doesn't
movie's
defeat. Yeah,
perfect, but in my eyes, right, what this movie set out to do, it did.
yeah,
And I'm gonna go a step further. We can probably, and you know what? Before we go into spoilers, I'm just gonna talk about it. It may be a little bit controversial,
sure.
but all right. So the thing is that this movie did what everyone tries to do without doing what everyone else tries to do. Meaning, it stayed away from the preachiness. It stayed away from the, oh, let's try something different. It stayed away from, oh, the old guy sucks. It stayed away from all that. And it embraced the fans as Star Wars should have done, as DC should have done, as Disney should have done, and and I think the product speaks for itself. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Biggest movie of the year, biggest movie of the last 4 years, probably since Endgame, right? and it did it without having to go out of its way and try and push something that the fans don't care about. It's like, this is for the fans, and we understand the fans, and we're gonna give it to the fans, and the fans are gonna speak with their wallet, and you guys will see. And that is exactly what happened, and I appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone that was involved with making it. You know what? I'm thankful for Amy Pascal.
No.
I am so thankful for her.
Yep.
Like we've talked about her, and we heard the stories, but I am thankful that she was there to wrangle Marvel back. And I was like, no, let's go ahead and go all in, and I want to make sure that I'm a part of it.
Can I just add to that really quickly? Because I know we got so much to talk about. But no, like everything you said, I was having the same conversation with someone else. The movie, we know already how critics felt about it. That's already a plus, right? But when you put your dollars behind something, that sends a clear message straight to Hollywood. This is the kind of movies we want. This is and people will say this is making it because of hype. Well, why is there hype? Because they're doing something right. Well, it's doing this because it's a known franchise. Well, we all saw Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Listen, they made money, but they didn't do what this movie did. They properly took the time to take even the things that were liked, some things that were controversial about Spider-Man, which I'm talking about in this 1 2, and made it a beautiful love letter all together, and didn't take it, like you said, in a way that they easily could have easily mocked. They could have easily gone a very PC way with this whole thing and try to make a certain point out of it for whatever reason that they didn't. No, they respected where these things come from, and that respect was very evident, and this is what the fans want. So clearly this money going behind Obed, I did not think in a pandemic 260 mil would be possible. But if outside of the pandemic, I've mentioned to you before, this would be the largest movie of the year by far. Yep. Just in general. I told you, it's only a couple of weeks that it'll be out, and it already passes everything else. So that was a given, right? But I did not think this was possible. But now we've made history, Obed.
Yeah.
So now this is something that the creators will have to look at, and we'll get into it in a bit here now. But there are plans to continue this because of what is being said here by the people.
To continue it in multiple ways too.
Yeah.
Which is what we spoke about on the podcast before. So yeah, man, I am so happy. I'm it's everything I wanted. So, and if they're gonna do a Spider-Verse and it's gonna up this thing, I am 100% in, dude. Like, you don't even have to tell me, bro. I will be there. Yeah. So, man. All right. So, I mean, I think the only what's crazy, right? The only like cameo per se was Matt Murdock. That because like he was a cameo.
Yeah. So one scene.
Yeah. I popped when he showed up. Like we knew, right?
Yeah. I saw the pictures.
Yeah. But I popped, and a couple other guys in the movie theater were like, "Oh my gosh!" It's like, it was great. It was great. Good cameo. As soon as Aunt May said the words, I was like, "Oh, she's super dead." So that didn't hit me as hard because as soon as she said it, I was like, "She's gonna die." It's done, bro. And we can go back to the how that connects to the other two Spider-Man, but I want to talk about what in my movie theater was the biggest pop was Andrew Garfield, dude. Everyone loves him. The first one to show up. Yeah, everyone loves him, and he got a huge pop, and I was so happy and so excited, and yeah, bro, it was great. Now that said, dude, like I've watched movies with my wife a lot, right? And it's hard to get emotions out of her. But when Toby showed up, I looked at her and she had this huge smile on her face. It was like, yeah, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah.
And the way they were introduced was excellent. Dude, I'm getting emotional right now. It's so freaking good, bro. So I think because the way it was done, it was so well done the way they were introduced that you know, I just can't complain, right? Them connecting with the Holland Spider-Man with the speech, right? And both having gone through the same thing, and that was the moment that they all connected, and I was like, oh yeah. So that was an excellent scene too. um I think the whole like interaction between them three, they had awesome chemistry. Dude, I think everyone when they're working in the lab, right? Like the chemistry between them three and Ned and MJ was really good. I was like, this is so much fun, man, and I am so excited and happy that this is happening right now. Oh man, I'm telling you, it's so good. I think the part in like I got teary eyed when they showed up, right? Because the way they did it was really good,
Yeah.
but I was really excited. I think the part that got me, bro, was Otto. I was like, Peter, it's like you've grown up. I was like, shit. It's like it got me, bro. Because we've grown with him, right? And it's like, oh man, he got me. Take it, dude, because I'm getting
Oh
emotional.
my gosh. I mean, for me, it's I really have liked all these characters in this specific universe here, right? So before they even brought in you know the guys, it was already getting very heavy when you got to that moment where Norman flips, right? I'm not going to be two man Goblin and Norman here, right? And he flips over. Gosh, what a phenomenal job. These guys coming back. Like, this is another, to me, the old guys here just proved to me what I've been saying to many people around me is like, these original people, bro, they bring such a
It was
class
so
of
good.
acting that is not something you see in Hollywood very often. They get
Yeah.
back into character like
William Dafoe is so
perfect,
good, bro.
and they don't cash a check. They work for the check.
They show
And
up.
it was just
Except Alfred Molina was like, I'm just here for the money. You see that
what
interview?
he said, yeah.
But
But he
no,
brought
he
it,
doesn't.
bro. No, he
Yeah, no, he
brought it.
doesn't. No,
And
he doesn't phone it in. He's in. He's
no, no,
in.
not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. And I just, so like but right as it gets to the scene, he's trying to help them on, and how Aunt May talks to him about how you have a responsibility, and it leads before you get to the actual quote because we've not heard that in this universe yet. And when we see that the glider's coming, like, oh gosh, he's gonna do it, right? We've seen the movies, and she gets taken down, and he's down there and he's holding her, and she's just trying to be so strong, and she's like, I just need to catch my breath, like I'm good. And I'm like, oh gosh, she's going, and just seeing the look on his face and seeing him in such a deep despair, watching Aunt May die before him, the only family he has at that very moment. Gosh, sorry, I'm not gonna cry because I
It's a
don't want to get
good
Star Wars
scene. It's
theory on here and
super.
become a meme.
It's super well acted, bro. Like
And
it's so well
he's
acted.
he is so deeply affected by seeing her start to go, and then you jump from that scene, bro, back to when they get to the apartment, and that's where you see these guys come through. It's a great scene, and we're cheering. It's great, right? And when Toby Maguire, when he comes through and he's talking and he says, I just have this sense that your friend needs us right now, that he needs us right now. And we got to go and encourage. And then when they go down, they talk to him. Bro, I'm telling you, man, the man tears just started to go because I was like, not only did they do it, that they brought them. I'm already like the emotions are already at a heightened level because they're all there,
Yeah.
and I'm like pinching myself, like, is this really happening? Yeah, like we talked about the rumors before they'd be there, but they're all there, man, and they're all talking about a deep loss, and he is so. I mean, Holland is playing this part to the core, bro, just being wrecked. His world,
Yeah, yeah.
he lost it all, and they come right behind him and help him get back on his feet. Whew.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro,
Like
like what a powerful,
yeah.
not just introduction, but then introduction of having them all, how they bond together
Yeah.
over this moment.
Yeah. And it's a man and
Man.
and again, you know,
Jeez.
it's like cuz he was definitely a victim of the writing, but but freaking Garfield, bro. It's like
He's a great
I
actor.
didn't like when he's talking. It's like yeah, and I lost Ben Parker too, and my MJ, and it's like, dude,
That's what
and
I'm telling you. Hit.
he's such a great actor, bro. And
Absolutely.
you know what? And it's great that he was just like downplaying the rumors, right? Because we all knew, right? And we all know that they're on their NDA, so the only thing they can do is deny it. You know, they can't say, "Oh, well, I don't know, I haven't been." It's those things, right? But man, he's so good. He's so good, and
What a
and
great
he hits
job.
you because it's like, man, yeah, you did, bro. Like both movies, like you
And
taking
then you get
hits.
that scene where they're all talking about, again, like these great bonding scenes, and they're all talking about the people they fought. And
Oh, the
McGuire,
villains.
I fought the guy with the green goo. And, Garfield's like, you guys have fought these cool people. I fought a, Russian in a rhino, in a, robotic rhino suit or whatever.
Yeah, fought an
And like
alien. He was purple in space, and I was like, oh
in
man, I was like, in
space,
space.
yeah.
Oh my god, who are you? Yeah, that's so
Oh my
good.
gosh.
The Avengers part
But
was
the thing
really
about
good
that's
too.
the
The
Avengers
yeah, I
reference,
was in the team. I was in the Avengers. Yeah, that's great. What's that?
the band.
The band.
But in that scene, like I know it's like for some people it could be corny, whatever, but I loved it, dude. How he's looking at Garfield and he's like, what is this with the self-talk, like self-doubt? Like, you're amazing. Like, you're
Yeah,
amazing.
yep,
Take it, go with it. And I was like, bro, that was the problem that I had with him in the other movies, even that they made his character always like self-doubting. It
yeah.
wasn't just like the timidest, the writing they made it was
It's the
overkill.
writing.
It was
Yeah,
overkill. The same thing they did with Electro. The Electro, they made him all weird and it was
he's great
overkill,
here.
right? Here he's perfect. That's what I'm telling you. The directing in this movie,
Yeah,
they took characters that are clearly great, right? They took Garfield, they took all these people, and just amplified the good qualities the things that we do like about them. And that's
yeah.
why I think the response is so positive.
I think
Because
the
not only is
writing.
that we're happy to see him in it, but then they just
Yeah,
were so great in it.
I think both the writing and the directing really played
Yeah.
to the actor's strength on
Yes.
every character. Because
Yeah.
even freaking Zendaya was good. It's like it's
Well,
crazy, bro.
she's like an Oscar-winning actress now. I think.
Yeah.
I think yeah. Or is it Golden
It's
Globe?
like an Emmy. I think
Something
it's
like
an
that.
Emmy.
Yeah.
She was good too. I was like
Yeah. Zendaya was
everyone was
great.
great. I mean, bro, was excellent. I mean, again, going back, I just don't see any negatives, and it was just so much fun. Um, Friggin' Willem Dafoe is amazing. He's always been great,
Gosh, so
and
good.
he's just out of control, and it's great. Yeah, I mean the only character, honestly, that kind of doesn't make sense is Sandman because he starts
Yeah.
where he should be, but then he kind of like flips for a minute.
Yes.
Um,
Like just because everyone else is going,
I
he
think
goes with them.
yeah, I think he just flips because he just wants to freaking go home and find a way to just accelerate the
Right.
process, right? But that's the
Yeah.
like my gripe. That's the only gripe that I have is Sandman. Like Lizard, I could see, right, whatever. He's always been to me like a second tier villain, but um,
And they used him that way,
and they
which is
did,
what's good
yeah,
about
they
it. They
did,
keep him in
yeah,
the
yeah,
background.
yeah. Um, but yeah, the thing with Sandman, it was like his motivations were kind of flaky, or sandy, I guess. No,
See what you did there.
but but everyone else had a role to play. Like everyone else had an important role, and it was good. Doctor Strange was very likable. Again,
Oh yeah,
like because we've seen, again, how I feel about the first movie, and then comes back in Avengers. I think it's much better, and this is more of a continuation to Avengers. I really like how this movie really feels self-contained and non-dependent from, like it got free of the crutches of Infinity or the Infinity Saga, and it's its own thing, and it feels like a Spider-Man movie through and through, not just the sequel to the Avengers, and kind of like Shang-Chi is kind of like that, right? But it does, in some places, it does feel kind of sequely, right? I haven't seen Eternals, but I'm assuming it's probably the same. It's gonna that bro. After watching this, I'm gonna go watch Eternals in a few weeks. It's gonna be such a
say
big
some prayers,
disappointment, bro.
bro.
I'm gonna trash this movie, dude. Honestly.
If you have, wasn't this thing that Zendaya says in the movie? If you're disappointed, if you expect disappointment, you won't be disappointed. That's gonna be you. Like I
Okay.
wasn't disappointed. I was
Okay.
already
That
disappointed.
was me watching Venom, and I liked it. The first one,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um. Yeah. No. You're right on, bro. No, you're right on. I think with the plot, there's two plot holes that are in it, but it's not a deal breaker for me, but it is not explained. Doesn't mean that there isn't an explanation. I think there is an explanation, and I
Mm,
think that it just wasn't explained in the movie, right?
okay.
Is then they both go to the same character, Electro. Like, one, why does he look different in this universe than his own? Without maybe it's a different iteration of him. No, it isn't because he recognizes Lizard, so it's the same
Yeah.
one.
So
Two,
the way I saw that, right, and I'm sorry, guys.
you're good.
The way I saw that, right, is that when his body became energy and Amazing 2, like his physical defects were gone. So what the body that was reconstructed when the energy was taken out was a body without the defects that he had in the movie. Like
Which
it
also
was
mean he grew hair, regular hair, and
well, yeah, it was kind of like
with a nice clean cut and all.
like the fake Mandarin in
Yeah,
Iron Man 3, right?
yeah,
So kind of like that, where you use this tech and you become like the better version of your physical self or whatever, right? So that's how I saw it. So to me, that wasn't like really a big deal.
yeah. It
But
wasn't a huge deal at all. I was like,
yeah,
it's Electro, like that's all. It's the same guy. Like he just looks cooler now. Like, okay, I don't really care, but they don't really explain it. Like there probably is, like to your point, there probably is an explanation. It just wasn't expressed in any dialogue that I caught.
well, you're saving makeup for
And
number one. Number two, he'd probably be happier playing that role.
exactly,
So yeah,
and that was one of the things that Pascal did say in the interview. She said that, look, when we called him up, she's like, I promise you, we're not gonna make you blue. Like, and we're gonna give you a good story this time. Like, and
yeah.
that's he's like, okay, because I don't think these guys would have came back if that was the case. But the other thing, it comes back to the same thing with him is that the reason why these ones are breaking through is because they all know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, right? That's specifically that. It's not just that they know who Spider-Man is, it's specifically that they know who Peter Parker is Spider-Man. When, and I've seen many people call this out, when did he ever get confirmation that Peter Parker was Spider-Man and they made the Spider-Man movies? We don't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
We never see
That's
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Does
yeah.
it matter? No, but
Doesn't
technically that's
matter.
how we got how we're supposed to get there. Plot
Yeah.
hole.
Yep.
Characters there, I don't really care, but it's again
Yep.
like could be explained at some point, but was not explained in the movie.
You want to talk real quick about the silhouettes? Not much to say there, but you can point out like very clearly. There's Craven, there's Scorpion, there's a Rhino without the crazy mech suit.
Yeah.
There's a few things right that are that you can tell from there. I know that there's probably more. I haven't gone really deep into it, but yeah.
But I have a confession to make. I have seen this movie 3 times already.
Yeah, no, yeah, I suspected it.
So every time I watch, it's like putting your spectacles on,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
trying
Watch
to
for
catch
this.
something new each time.
Yep.
One of the other cool references in this movie, Obed, I don't know if you've caught, was the Asgard reference. I didn't catch it the
There was
first
something in
time.
like a
Caught
news
it the
article
second-
that there was
News
problems
segment.
in Asgard, right?
Yes, that
Yeah,
was
in
pretty
New
cool.
Asgard. Yeah.
So
like
I
political
say that
turmoil or something like that.
yes,
Yeah.
Turmoil, New Asgard. There was something else in this movie that was cut out of this movie that I'm believe because when the leak started going out of the pictures, Obed, about the Spider-Man standing together on the ledge, and right, you recognize the scene when you see the leaked
Yeah.
image. You see that,
It's
the
very
scene where they're
obvious.
all looking at Doctor Strange, right?
Yeah.
And then the other one with Matt Murdock of them sitting down, right? You and I, we didn't go out of our way. It's unfortunate that went everywhere. The funny thing is, the YouTuber that put it out there, I've met him before at Comic Con. I'm very familiar with him. He's a pretty cool dude. Don't know why he would think it was cool to spoil that. It was not cool, but he said he did a spoiler cast. John Campia, right? He did a spoiler cast where he came out and said, "Look, there was another picture that I didn't post. The other people around him like, yep, we saw the picture because he showed it to them, but never posted it. And in that same scene where all the Spider-Men are there was another picture of all of them together, and there was another person in a mocap suit. So there was another character that was cut out of it. Some will say it's Venom, some will say it's something else, but we won't know
Hmm.
what the belief is based on his Disney source or Sony source, whatever it is that it has that whatever that scene was, they were on set for another movie.
Hmm.
I don't know what. I have been trying to put it together, but Obed, I can take guesses. I mean, I only one I can think of is Thor was filming at the time. Was Guardians was filmed after. Um, I don't know, man, but this clearly there's clearly more implications that they had that was going another character that was huge that was going to be this movie. I'm glad they didn't because they had enough characters and they handled it
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
well. When I
Yeah.
kept it
Yeah.
Spider-Man centric,
Yeah.
but it is an interesting thing, Obed, that I thought I'd throw on your radar.
Okay. Interesting. All right. That's good to know. Um, Miles reference, like pretty obvious,
Yeah,
right? Like, and I mean,
Black Spider.
we saw it back in Homecoming, and it's thrown out there. It's like, oh, maybe there's a Black Spider-Man out there, and that got a huge pop from my theater.
Yeah,
So
people laughed and stuff and cheered.
yeah, um, so that yeah, I mean, I know that we'll eventually get there. Um, uh, so I like how it ended with what is the most comic accurate Spider-Man suit we've seen on screen so far, because this is straight up like like classic comic
The
book.
perfect one. Yeah,
Yeah, like this is the right colors, the right material. This is like the suit. So I like how it ended with that. Um, I I like again how they let you know straight up, right, that and again, I know that there's been someone's like, oh, why did Aunt May have to die? It's like, well, that's part of who Spider-Man is.
yeah,
Like that moment has to happen in universe for him to become Spider-Man. Like he needs to
yeah,
find himself. Like he, needs to uh like separate himself from Star Tech. Separate himself from his friends because they know who he is. Like these things need to happen for him to truly become Spider-Man, and and it was great. It was great. It was great. It was well done.
yeah.
I liked the suit. I was like, oh man, they're going with like a classic suit. When I saw the sewing machine and the material,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, they're gonna do it, and then they did, and then he comes out and he looks really good.
And did you catch that that was almost beat for beat Spider-Man PS4 opening?
Yeah.
Like the
Yep.
cell phone with the, listening to the police scanner,
Yep.
is getting out of bed, swinging out in the same area. And then
Gets out
that
of the
scene, he's
window.
going to go after Wilson Fisk.
Oh, okay. Is that okay?
So, and because in the game, that's
Oh,
where he
yeah,
goes,
yeah,
right?
yeah. When the
Fisk
game
Tower, right?
starts there. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah,
the game
yeah.
starts, right?
Yeah.
And there's a few other things he did in the movie that were started on PS4. Some same moves that he does on Goblin, he did same on in PS4 and PS4, right?
So that
Um,
fight in the apartment with Goblin, that was nuts, bro. That was really good.
and it looks more practical,
Yeah.
like I don't know whatever stunt people and stuff they had doing the
Yeah.
choreography or whatever, but
It looked really
good.
good. That
Um,
fight sequence was really good. Yeah.
no, you're yeah, I 100% agree. Now, Obed, I know you have not yet, and we'll talk about it next week, right? Not next week. What am I saying? We're
Whenever
off
we
next
get
week.
back.
When we return,
Yeah.
we'll talk about
The,
Hawkeye. Many of you guys are people are seeing the Disney Plus Hawkeye series. The finale just came out today. We'll talk about that next time when we return. So stay tuned for that, everyone.
yeah.
But I will say there's not a definitive answer there nor here, so we must make the assumption that the Netflix Daredevil is the exact same Daredevil.
It's
It's not
canon. Yeah.
another version. We can only make the assumption because there is no clear answer.
Yeah.
Just that the character shows up and they just keep going as if they've always been there in these worlds.
Yep.
What implications does that have for other characters from the Netflix world? They all must exist.
Yeah. I mean, it's canon. Like if Daredevil's canon, that means that everyone's canon. That means that Punisher's
Yep.
canon and Jessica Jones and Luke Cage and Iron Fist and so that means that they're all in, right? So
Yeah.
to what extent they're gonna be explored, I don't know. I did see the girl that played the daughter of the dragon or whatever her name was uh
Electra?
and no in Iron Fist, the girlfriend.
Oh,
Yeah.
Colleen.
Colleen, yeah. So I
Yeah.
did see that. I guess the actress talked to Marvel about something. It was. I saw an article, and like I
Well,
guess she's gonna be back.
she was supposed to be in Shang-Chi. She actually said at the Matrix mirror. She said it was
Oh,
either
really?
the Matrix or Shang-Chi. And she's like, yeah,
Mm.
I'm picking my red pill here. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, I'm
Yeah,
being
that
that.
would
But
make
I
sense.
agree. If she's
Yeah.
talking to them, and now that this is official, I
Yep.
agree with you. She easily could be back. Out of all the characters from the Iron Fist world, she's a good
I,
one.
I think I
But
think she was a better character. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
she was better than the main guy.
Yeah.
But which that could be fixed within the director. That's a whole conversation
Hmm.
for another day too.
Yep.
But they don't answer it, in Hawkeye either. But I look forward to when you see it because Kingpin is definitely superior Kingpin in this than he was in like he was great in the Netflix ones. But this guy's like been drinking some like metahuman juice or something
Yeah.
because
Speaking of
he's
superior,
much superior.
speaking of superior, let's talk about the end sequences because we're at 45. We're almost at 45 minutes here.
Jeez.
So, yeah, the first end credit sequence, Eddie Brock is talking to a bartender and he's finding out about what happened with the snap. And he's getting info, he's getting intel. It's like, oh, maybe I should go to New York and talk to this guy. And then he goes back to his universe. But now there's two potential Venoms.
Right.
Yep.
Because the symbiote now has entered their world.
So now we have the Venomverse Venom or whatever it ends up being, right? And then a potential MCU Venom. They could do it different. They could do it like they did in that last Spider-Man animated show on Disney. Remember that Venom like
Yeah.
skipped around, or they did like the Agent
Agent
Venom and all
Venom.
this. Yeah,
Yep.
they could do something like that. That would be cool. And then they could just leave Venom in the Venomverse.
Flash Thompson.
Yeah, who knows? Um, and then just going back to Venom real quick. We gotta find we gotta watch more views now, because why is that mural there? And but why? But even a bigger question, right? Is like, why is the mural there, and why is Vulture there? It's like, how did that happen?
Well,
So
did you catch the daughter on the People magazine? Right.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so Liz Allen's on the People magazine. On the magazine, it says uh, he's full of lies or he's a liar or something like that. Like a quote from her talking about obviously Peter Parker. So she knows, the family knows now.
Yeah.
Hey, he's Spider-Man. Obviously, like it's getting erased allegedly, right?
Yeah.
But like to your point, how does then he still remember? And how is he in the Morbius world? Like, is this timeline wise happening before the this? Maybe this is technically because wasn't this supposed to come out before anyways?
Oh, Morbius was supposed to come out in
So
October, right? And it
right, so
got
this could
pushed.
be kind of a prequel ish to what
Yeah,
happens.
you're right. Yeah, you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. They're probably gonna do a
And
Black
that's
Widow.
why it says
They're Black
murderer
Widowing
because
it.
they still know his identity and the world knows his identity at
Yeah,
that time.
they're
I don't
Black
know.
Widowing it. Although that movie comes out in January, and in January is where movies go
Where
to
movies
die.
go to
So
die. Yeah.
yeah,
So I wouldn't put too much stock in the film except that hey, maybe he is going to be a part of that future Sinister Six thing. I just don't think a Morbius sequel will happen unless this
yeah.
movie breaks the bank. And oh, but do you see this one breaking the bank? I don't know what I don't.
I don't know. I mean, they it could it
The
could
hype
ride
of
it
this
could
movie
ride
is
on
going to
hype.
help it.
Well, the problem is that now, like it looks like we're gonna go back into restriction mode, at least in some
Yes.
places. So,
Yes.
um,
January's here.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how movie theaters. I don't think movie theaters will go through another round of closings. I think they'll just go ahead and do. If you want to get in, you gotta be a decent human and play your part, right? So
Sit every other seat, maybe again. Who knows?
yeah, exactly. Um, and then at the end we get, I guess, a full teaser that was released today as a separate thing for Multiverse of Madness, and we see uh, Supreme Strange, or Strange Supreme. Um, it's it looks good. That movie looks nuts, and I thought that was Shuma, and I was very very excited, and it was not because it got leaked on the Lego sets. That is not Shuma. I was like, oh, it's not Shuma. Okay, but it looks good nonetheless. Yeah, Wanda's in it for sure. It's like, oh, they like you need to watch WandaVision before you watch this movie, right? One of those things, because he does, it's related for sure. And but yeah, it looks good. It looks really good.
100% agree. This movie obviously got delayed till May. I saw someone else put this out saying, kind of feel bad for Marvel because, um, dude, there's gonna be so many cameos in this movie. Like people have to
Oh, in
understand,
multiverse,
like, oh yeah, they've hidden
and
so
they've
many.
they've
And there's
already said that, yeah, there's already X-Men stuff in
There's
it.
already thing, and there's
So
already stuff out there. Like I've already heard, dude, Hugh Jackman might show. I don't. There's things out there already.
yep.
That we're not gonna spoil, but we know things are there. This movie's gonna have like not the same, right? But there's gonna be another level of like, whoa, they brought all that together in this movie. At some point, Marvel's gonna put something out there where there's not gonna have a crazy cameo at the end of the movie, and people are gonna be like, "What's going on?"
Uh,
Because that's where they're going, and I love it.
I
It's the
gotta make
fanfare in the right way, which is what you said. That's what Star Wars should have done, right? Like, but
yeah.
they're doing it respectful. But no, Multiverse of Madness on its own going to be a really cool story, large implications. But then you're going to get those extra cameos and extra.
You're breaking up. Let's give Joel a second here. See if
I
we can
can't
freeze him. There.
see you.
He's back. He's back. I can hear you, but I cannot see you. There you go. I can see you now. So, I was gonna say, um, I wish, and should I word it? Let me see how I can. I wish this would have been Rise of Skywalker. Like
Yeah.
this is what I wish Rise of Skywalker was.
Where Obi-Wan enters the film and you see Yoda and you see Mace
And,
Windu and you see Ahsoka
and you
and
see Anakin and
you see Anakin.
everyone's here, right?
Not just voices, you see them and
Yeah, like that. Even
respectful.
that would have made the
Anakin
ending
comes
much
to
better.
Ray, like how we see Spider-Man before it comes to
Yeah,
Spider-Man and comfort. You
yeah.
know,
That's
I don't get it, man.
again. We talk about the disconnect, right? It's like how, you know, how can multiple branches of the same body be so disconnected? I'm so salty, Joe.
And if you can't get everyone to a contract, get as many of them as you can, let them show up.
Yeah,
But try at least try. Don't just shut them out. And a lot of these people sound like they want to be a part of it, and they just
And they didn't
Lucasfilm
even
was
try.
like,
Yeah.
nah,
Yeah.
we're good. And that's a
That's a
problem.
problem. Yeah.
But this year, man, they done did it. Yeah, Doctor Strange will have a lot of cameos, and
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing how that movie comes together. It's supposed to be March. Fortunately, got pushed to May.
May. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to watching this movie again.
And you got to see your what if. Like, what if is
You
clearly,
got to see what if for
What if
Doctor
Doctor Strange?
Strange. Yeah.
So I love the payoff, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I had a few people in the theater who were like, "Who is that?" And like, everyone like, it's for the what if. So it's Disney's
Yeah.
promoting themselves to go back into it. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think they're doing the. I think the synergy between the Disney Plus stuff and the movies is really paying off. It's crazy. Again, how can they do that? It's so good, and Star Wars can't even figure it out. What the heck?
It's a
Oh
leadership
my
problem.
gosh, dude!
But that's your point with Amy Pascal, right? I gave her a lot of slack. We've talked about it before,
Yep.
right? Okay. I take back a lot of what I've said about her, and I can be not prideful enough to admit when I was wrong about some stuff. Looking over some of the things, and not, I'm not going to name names, but it seems like there were some people that were above her that
Yeah.
were driving her to make some crazy decisions, Obed. And
Oh, yeah,
now
yeah,
those people aren't around. She's actually able to do what she wants to do with the characters, and it's
Yep.
very evident that she understands this. She's not great with interviews. Well, I'll still say that much.
Yeah.
But you know what? When it comes to the business side, since she's been running the ship, she's done a really good job recently, and I'm very very happy with it. I mean, Into the Spider-Verse, Obed. Some say that's the best Spider-Man movie ever.
No, this is better than Spider-Verse.
You can't.
In
No,
my
but you
opinion.
can't. But you can't say that they're wrong for saying that movie's
No,
better.
absolutely not.
Because
No.
that movie's a fantastic movie.
Yep.
It's a good. You have a wealth of riches. Is my point, right?
Yeah.
Like this is a good situation to be in. I say they're two very different movies. One's animated, one's live. Let's not compare the two, right?
Yep.
If you put this movie in animated form, it wouldn't be the same. But that's a whole other argument.
And then we'll see whenever Spider-Verse 2 happens, and when the live-action Spider-Verse happens, which is
it's coming.
It's coming. Do you think, like, because of fan reaction to, specifically the re-reception of Garfield into the Spider-Man movies, do you think they're gonna go ahead and wing it and do the third one?
I don't think he'll have a solo film. I think he'll continue to be incorporated into other films.
Okay.
I'd be very surprised that they go back to that world as it was, because his character is very different in this than he is there. Like, it's still him, but like you take that and you put it back into that world, and I think they could do it if they wanted to, and it would be great. I think it would really be good, and fans want it. I don't think they'll do that though. I think they probably have bigger plans. Well, like you mentioned before about Spider-Man versus Venom movie, it would be because Venom now is a character that's clearly not like just some background villain. Like, he's got his own movies, he's respectable. It would be like Batman versus Superman, like Spider-Man versus Venom. I could see.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay,
that kind of reunion.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But allegedly, I just read it this morning. Look, from places I'm trusting, Sony internally is putting a memo saying we want to get all three of these Spider-Man back on the big screen as soon as possible. Like, they're not going to wait to make whatever they're going to be doing next. Contract negotiations are probably happening now.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so whatever happens, we'll be finding out very soon.
Yeah.
Maybe a great Comic-Con.
Yeah, the reception was so positive to him coming back that it's like, man,
yeah, he'll be back. He'll be back. I will say that.
Yeah, and I'm so happy for him, dude. Because what happened to him was very unfortunate. It was just it is not his fault. Like, he's a great actor. It's just that the problem is the writing and the directing which
was the same person who wrote and directed it. That's what I'm saying. And that guy.
How did Wonder Woman
Sony
84
kicked
come
them
out, Joe?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
The guy who directed this movie and all the other Spider-Man movies, of this trilogy, is doing the Fantastic Four movie. So we're in good hands, guys.
Yeah. We'll see how that comes out. Yeah. I'm very happy. I am very very happy. It's it's my favorite Marvel movie. Like it
Yeah,
bumped Winter Soldier out of the number one spot.
yeah.
Um,
This
it's
movie's fantastic.
it's absolutely great, and it's a treat. And it it yeah, what you said about it took you back to being a kid watching Spider Man the first time. It kind of did for me too. Like I mean, I was a grown man when I watched the first one,
Yeah,
but it took me back to simpler times. It was
yeah.
just fun, and it was good, well written. It had a story to tell. It had powerful moments. It's a movie where the main cast, I guess the protagonist, along with the co-protagonists, grow. Um, Even Ned grows. Like it's
There could be way more to his
oh
character
yeah,
coming.
I'm sure he's gonna. I'm sure we'll see him again.
He's got magic in his family.
Yeah, and
I
and
love this. His grandmother.
oh
She's
yeah, yeah,
great.
Lola with Lola. It's like well, Lola says you gotta clean the webs. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
My gosh.
That was
So
good.
did you see though that with McGuire, they apparently filmed two versions, one where he actually did die, and then the other one where he didn't.
Oh really?
And
Okay.
allegedly Feige was like,
Ah, bro.
we need him alive. We
Yeah,
need more.
yeah,
So
yeah. So, good stuff. Very good stuff. Yeah, I can't wait to buy it. Like I can't wait to own a copy of this movie.
I think I'm
Honestly,
going back to the theater to watch it again at some
yeah.
point
Like
soon.
if I could, I would. Right? It's one of
Yeah.
those scenarios, or if I could, I
Yeah.
would go back and watch it. It's hard for me to do that. So, like right now, based on family talks, we are going to go see Sonic. At least
Nice.
I'm
Very
going to
good.
try and watch Batman and get out of my way and watch it because it looks really good. Um, but yeah, 2022 is going to be a good year, man. As long as people keep taking care of themselves and not being dumb.
And this was a great way to conclude 2021, right?
Yeah.
We didn't have as many games come out this year, right? We didn't have we had a few good ones come out for sure. We had big things come out, don't get me wrong, but
Guardians,
Ratchet and
pleasant
Clank sounds like it was
surprise.
great. Guardians was great. We had Super, Mario 3D World. We got
Bowser's Fury was really good.
Bowser's Fury. We got some good things.
Yeah, yeah. We definitely better year than last year for sure.
Yes.
Um, I think it's good, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities given to me throughout this year, and uh, being able to come here every week and chat with you, man, because I really enjoy this time. So, yeah, not much to say. I Bob may be back next year. I don't know which Bob. I
Predictions.
don't know, but another dimension Bob. This is like show me Bob, and Bob comes out of the portal, and I gotta help the other Bob. I, you know, crap, man. You know, these guys. I don't know what the heck they're doing. I don't know.
No one does.
I don't know.
But if that CNBC report is anything, that they've got some other executives, at least 11 of them allegedly, saying this is a prediction that they would make strong enough to publish in a piece. It ain't just a little bit of chatter. There's a reality where we do see the return of the Bob to kick out the
He's
other
good.
Bob.
He's gonna get a huge pop like Toby. It's like come out of the portal.
Yeah.
It's like oh, portal opens and it's Bob.
It's,
Oh man.
could happen. 2022 could be a really crazy year. We have no idea what to
Yeah.
expect,
Yeah.
but hope for the best. It can be a really great year. But this year, we had a really good one, minus Eternals, but it was a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. Masters of the Universe was good. You haters, I don't know what you guys are
Yeah,
thinking, right?
it's good.
I enjoyed it. I loved every minute of it. It was great. It was silly fun, and that's exactly what He-Man used to be. So I don't care. I had fun. JoJo's good. Um, Cowboy Bebop, unfortunately, you know, I guess it didn't spread its wings too far, but you know, I gotta finish that. I gotta go back and finish it. I just been watching Honkai and JoJo, so I want to just
I
finish
haven't gone
JoJo.
back and finished it either.
Oh, really? Okay. I
I
just
will.
wanna
I
go
will.
back. Yeah, but there's stuff coming out, and it's
A
been a
lot
good
of Star
year.
Wars next year, dude.
Yeah,
A
a lot of Star
lot of
Wars
Star
starting next
Wars.
week. Yeah, yeah. So, you know, if the rumors are what they are, we're in for a good time Star Wars wise. So, very excited for that. I want Star Wars to be back, for sure. Like, take note, Lucasfilm. Like, this is like they took Lucasfilm to school with this movie, man, with Spidey. Not only Lucasfilm. Look, you know what? Now I'm excited for Flash. It's like, let's see what happens on
Oh
the
yeah,
other side.
same. Absolutely.
Let's
Yeah.
see what happens on the other side, right?
Well, someone said the same thing to me when they saw it,
Yeah,
and they were like, "Man, like they have all these Batmans. What if they put the Batmans together?" I'm like, "Well, since you said it,
yeah, yeah,
there's a little movie coming out, Flashpoint next year,
yeah.
and
Like,
I
who
love
knows?
at least two of them."
At least two, yeah. So who knows what's gonna happen there, man? That's it's gonna be real interesting. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a different kind of show this week. We just wanted to show the love for Spidey because it truly was special. And what a way to end the year. And I really do hope that this variant thing is, you know, it's dealt with. I know for a fact that this is it's just a bump on the road. It's and we'll get through it pretty quick. It's not gonna be as bad as it was during the summer. So I think that we'll get through it in a few weeks. I think it's if you ask me, it's
Some
more
say February.
alarmism than anything, but we'll be fine. We'll be fine. Um, Joe, for next year, you know, Game Watch, we got God of War coming, Horizon, Elden Ring, who knows, new Mario, Zelda, Breath of the Wild sequel, uh, another Switch question mark.
Finally, that was a Gotham Knights or whatever.
Yeah, Gotham Knights finally after like 3 year delay.
Yep.
Um, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to all the Star Wars stuff, all the game stuff, and of course all the Marvel stuff that's gonna come out next year. So, um, yeah, very exciting. It was a very exciting year for us too. Like
Yes.
doing the multicast stream and you know, audio is doing all right. We didn't have any major technical problems in the entire
Until
year.
we had a floating head at one point.
Yeah, up until Modoc, it was like you get me like this like a couple weeks ago. Hey, what's happening? It's like big head and tiny
Just
arms.
box
Just
only the head. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I'm hoping to upgrade. Yeah, I upgraded this camera. It's like I'm just waiting for it to come in. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was good. I think overall, Joe, I think that we did all right.
We did very
We
good
did all right.
considering everything we've been through.
Yeah. Stay tuned. I mean, we may have a diverse. You know, we may diversify here.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens with that. We'll still keep Nolo Time as it is. Nolo Time's not going anywhere, at least for
Just
now.
growth.
Yep. And then more than likely we'll diversify into. I guess we're not gonna do the reactions. I don't want to deal with the MCAs. I don't want to deal with like people telling me I'm the lowest common denominator on YouTube. You know, so, I you know I want to do something different, and you know, there's plenty of meat to cut, so we'll leave. Well, there's there's plenty of mice to trap. Let's leave it at that.
Very good.
So that's what we got for this year, Joel. As always, sir, take it away.
Absolutely. Everyone, thank you so much for your time tonight and this whole year, really, for sticking with us. We encourage you to stay connected, stay subscribed. We are on podcast platforms, so look for us on your podcast platform of choice: iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Amazon Music. No Load Time. Just look for us there, subscribe. Also, subscribe to our video version, right, on our YouTube channel. You can follow us there, like our videos, comment on them, share them with others. We'd highly appreciate that. We also would invite you to follow us on our social media at No Load Time. That's at No Load Time, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can also follow us on our Twitch account where we broadcast our episodes live. We are on No Load Time altogether on twitch.tv. So make sure to check us out there. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, we'd love to hear from you, hear your feedback. Send us an email to noloadtime@gmail.com. That's noloadtime@gmail.com. Thank you all so very much for a fantastic year. We wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff. Celebrate this holiday with much joy in your hearts.
Thank you, guys. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Be excellent to each other. We'll see you again next year.